Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How you doing?
On the throw to DK where you kind of got to fade a little bit, it goes over the middle to him. How often have you had to throw it as early as you did?
I'm trying to think of the throw. You said I had to fade. Okay, I know what you're talking about. That's really just playing ball, anticipating, throwing the ball, early. I've done that a few times during the season, so, I don't think that's anything too spectacular, more so just kind of understanding of spatial awareness, understanding of coverages, and then knowing when to release the ball.
Geno, you brought up Ben McAdoo earlier this year against the Giants. He's going to be on the other sideline. What did he mean to you in your time in New York?
Yeah, Coach Mack was always a really good coach to me. Obviously, young in my career, was switching teams, and I really thought he had a plan when he was there. I thought he got cut a little short in his time with the Giants, but I understand that a part of that reason was because he started me in that game, and so I always kind of held him dear to my heart for that. I thought that was definitely a bold move to make, and for him to lose his job behind that, I felt some type of way about it. So Coach Mack has always been a guy who I've, like I said, held dear to my heart. We've always stayed in contact. He's a really good coach. He's a really good coordinator, knows ball, knows what he's looking at, and, I've always appreciated him for that.
What role do you think that played in him getting fired?
I mean, you got to ask the people that fired him. I can tell you that answer.
How are you feeling now, and what was it like playing Sunday with whatever you were playing through with the illness?
I'm feeling a little better. Obviously, my voice isn't there yet. I'm still a little stuffy, but Sunday, honestly, the game. When you get your adrenaline going and you're in the middle of the game, you rarely think about anything else, any illnesses, or any type of injuries and things like that. Everyone's out there playing a little nicked up, and for me, it was just a little bit of a cold, but I was able to fight through it, and so good to be able to do that. But trying to get back healthy and just get all the way back to 100%.
There's a lot of numbers this year that show consistency for you, whether it's games with multiple touchdowns, 100 passer rating, things like that. Just how much pride do you take in being the guy that gets it done week in and week out?
I take extreme pride in that. I understand that I hadn't played in a while, and I know that there's always going to be things out there being said about, what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And I just want to continue to show up every week for the guys around me, for my teammates and coaches. I want to continue to play hard and do the right things. I'm not trying to make hero plays or, do anything outside of what we're asked to do, as quarterbacks. And so I just want to continue to play hard and rely on the guys around me, put the ball in the hands of DK and Tyler and, Noah and Disley and Kobe and all the backs and stuff. And I think that's a reason for the numbers and stuff, just the guys around me playing so well, and then me just being efficient, being on time, being on schedule, understanding the offense, understanding defense, and then making the throws.
On making the throws, how much, what comes from is fun, but the two receivers you have, DK, the way you have to release it to him because the way he runs his routes, and then Tyler Lockett, kind of those. Is that fun? I mean, just the diversity?
Yeah, football's fun, man. I love playing football. It's extremely fun, especially when you got guys around you like I have and like we have. It's been a blessing all year to play with these guys. I told them that the other day, man, just being able to go out there and compete with these guys and have an opportunity to lead these guys, it's all I can ask for. And so I've been extremely excited about that every single week. And when you got guys like DK, Tyler, Noah, Will Disley, Kobe Parkinson, we got the backs that we have, Ken Walker and DJ Dallas and Homer, and we got the guys that we have up front. It makes for an exciting offense, and it really allows me to do my job at a high level.
And the accuracy of your throws, did you have to work with that? That's something you always had? Because like you said, to Mike's question, it's the timing, but it's the spatial ability.
Yeah. I mean, that takes tons of hard work, tons of repetition. We've been repping together for a lot of time now. Over the course of my lifetime, I've been, fairly accurate, and so I've always had confidence in that. But none of that happens without the work that you put in, without the hours spent just talking over routes, let alone going out there on the field and running routes on the air, and then doing one-on-ones, 7-on-7s, going, training camp, and then, preseason, all those reps, accumulated reps, to me are what makes, the things go. And so we just try to continue to focus on that, the hard work, and allow the rest to handle itself.
Geno, you're 12 games in, 4 months into your first season as a starter in a long time. How do you feel physically? Like, how have you held up through the grind of the season, getting back into things, getting hit again, and all of that?
Yeah, I've been blessed to, feel really good. I haven't taken a lot of hits over the course of the years, but this year, obviously playing, you're going to take some hits. But one thing I try to do is be on time and on schedule, get the ball out of my hands so that I'm not, taking a ton of hits out there, and I'm not putting, my body at risk and the ball and our team at risk. And so our line has done a great job at protecting me, keeping me upright. And Shane's done, a great job at moving the pocket at times so that I'm not just always sitting in the same spot. And it's allowing me not to take a ton of hits, but I feel great. My body is holding up. I've been hitting the weights and, eating right and getting the right recovery and rest to make sure that happens.
Has your workout training off-season regimen changed over the course of your career?
Not much. I think what's really changed is my dieting and my understanding of my own body. As you grow and you learn your body, learning what you can and can't eat, what causes inflammation, what will slow you down, and so I think everyone should do a study on that because it really matters, and that's really the main thing is my diet.
What can and can't eat?
Excuse me?
What can and cannot eat, right?
You just want to eat, not a lot of red meat. Those are things that cause inflammation. Try to stay out of eating things that cause inflammation and eat higher energy foods and, foods that produce, lean body mass.
So white meat or chicken or fish or?
Yeah, the food chart, yep.
Can you cook?
I'm not a great cook. I can do a little bit of something, but not much. Not much. Nothing to brag about.
Do you have a nutritionist?
No.
You cook your own meals?
Oh, my wife does. Yep.
What are you seeing in Carolina's pass defense? Their numbers have been pretty stingy on that in the last 5 years.
Yes, extremely talented. You look at their defense, they've got first rounders all over the place. They're extremely talented. They play connected. You watch their defense and you see the communication in the secondary. They're rarely out of position. Those guys do a great job at limiting big plays, making you work for it, and it's what we've been seeing all year. They play a lot of man coverage. They mix it with some zone, and they try to give you different looks and make the reads as hard as possible, make you have to make post-snap reads, and all the things that you can expect from NFL defense. And so they got great guys up front as well, great pass rush, really fast guys, and it's going to be a challenge for us, once again. And so we got to be on top of our game. We got to come out and play fast, strike early, and finish at the end.
About your guys like Tony, I think something happened with his contact in the game. DJ could barely walk. Marquise had that big wrap on his hand. What did you learn about them and how they were able to finish?
Yeah, they've just been showing, the backs have been showing how tough they are, man. I think they pride themselves on that, really being tough guys. And I did not know Tony lost his contact. He didn't didn't say a word, just kept playing. And DJ obviously had the injury, but he was still out there battling. And one thing about those guys is they don't make excuses. No one on this team makes excuses. That's one of our rules. And, we all fight together for one another. And so that was an example of that where, Ken went down early. DJ stepped up. DJ had a little incident. And then, Tony stepped up and really finished the game for us.
What, if anything, has surprised you about your season?
Nothing at all. No.
Exactly as planned.
Exactly as planned. You could ask anybody. You go check my Instagram, my Twitter. I've been saying this for a while.
You said in an interview, I think it was like with Fox or something a little bit ago, where while you weren't playing, you said you gained patience, or you learned patience. Did you feel like you needed that lesson? You needed to gain more patience? Yeah, I think all the things that we go through in life, when you really embrace them, they all become lessons. And in that time where I felt like I really should have been out there. I really wanted to be out there, but I couldn't. I couldn't put myself out there, and so I had to learn that patience and learn how to continue to work and continue to be confident and not worry about things outside of my control. And what I learned is that when you just don't focus on negativity and you just stay positive and you just work, sometimes things happen. Is that tough to learn, or a tough process to go through?
I can't say it's tough, man, because I've been so blessed, man. Like honestly, my tough times would be a dream to someone else. So, I'll never look at it as something that was too hard for me or really tough, because throughout that time I was still, enjoying my life and still in the NFL. And so, for the most part, it was just feeling like there's like a glass ceiling, and like you want to break that ceiling. It's like something hovering over you that you just want to break it so that you continue to go further. And so for me, I just had to stay patient until I had the opportunity.
Where were you when Pete called you and told you he was going to give you an opportunity this offseason?
Oh, I was in the studio with one of my artists.
You manage artists?
Yeah. Got a record label.
Yeah, what's the label called?
7 World Records.
What was your reaction? Did Pete call you directly, or did he call your agent? Or?
He called me, yep.
What was that initial thought in the studio?
Man, we were working, but, I told my boy, I was like, man, here's the chance. Here's the opportunity. And everyone around me knew. It was like, well, here we go. You know what it is.
And all the hard work, the patience to get here, and even kind of calling that shot in the preseason, like you said, on social media, the opportunity that's right in front of this team these last few games. If you win, everything will take care of itself. How special is it to have that opportunity that you guys can't control that? You win, it'll all work out.
That's everything you ask for in the NFL. A chance to control your own destiny. We put ourselves in that position to be able to do that, and now it's about capitalizing. And for us, man, it's 1 week at a time. It's a lot like what the playoffs will feel like, elimination games. And so to us, we got to treat these like elimination games and take it 1 week at a time, one step at a time, one day at a time. And, I think we'll give ourselves a really good shot here at the end.
As you've gone around the league, are you close with any other quarterback? I mean, obviously you play with Russ and stuff, but like other than Russ, are you cool with any quarterbacks around the league?
Yeah, man, I've been blessed to be around a lot of great quarterbacks, and we've all kept in contact. From Ryan Fitzpatrick, to Eli, we chat every now and then. All the guys, Mike Vick, Matt Sims. Really, think about all the guys, all the rooms that I've been in. Like you said, Russ. It's really a fraternity in the NFL, when you think about quarterbacks. And, it's a blessing to be in those rooms. I cherish every single one of those relationships, every single one of those opportunities.
Have any of those guys reached out as you've had success this season?
Yeah, a bunch of them. I was really happy when Phil texted me, Phil Rivers. He's one of the guys who I've always looked up to, and he reached out to me, and that was pretty cool. A couple weeks back.
Crossed paths with Sam Darnold. You guys have the similar how you entered the NFL.
I never have. Kind of, just watched him from afar. But I do believe he's really talented. I think he can make all the throws. I think he's, got a lot of athleticism. Seems to be a really smart guy. And, I know that, he's getting the opportunity to start again. And, obviously I hope he does well, just not against us.
Speaking of Fitz, I saw you retweeted his little interview he had a week or two ago talking about how he knew you could throw it around when you guys played together and such. To see him kind of talk about you now in those ways, and what does that kind of mean to you?
Man, I love Fitz, man, and, it means a lot. It means a lot because he's a guy who had been through some things, been on a bunch of different teams, but another guy who's overcome a lot. Wasn't a high draft pick, maybe not the biggest guy, didn't always have the strongest arm, but, he played with a ton of passion, was extremely smart, knew where to go with the ball, and, he was just a joy to be around. All his teammates loved him, I loved him, and we have and always had a great relationship.
Is there anything you took from Philip from your year together that you use now in your game?
Oh, yes, sir, a lot, man. Just his command of the offense, total control, understanding the offense like an offensive coordinator, understanding defense like a D coordinator, being 10 steps ahead, knowing what the guy's going to do before they do it. He was a master at playing quarterback, and I learned a lot from him.
When you were, you went from the Jets to the Giants, and then your other two stops. Like when you were weighing those opportunities, how did you weigh like the opportunity to, learn from a really good quarterback, but also the fact that those guys were really durable and you might not be able to play?
Well, when I went to the Giants, Eli was up there, in age a little bit, and so my thought process was, honestly, I'm, not trying to sound any kind of way, was to take the job. Every single place I've been was to take the job, and so I've never looked at it any other way. I'll never look at myself or the game any other way. I think you sell yourself short, when you just go in and say, I'm going to just be behind the guy. So I've learned from those guys, but I've also tried to be better than them every single day, and that's kind of been my goal.
Gene, if you don't have that thought about yourself anyway, you probably can't get to this level, right? Like as a quarterback, like if you don't think you're the guy that you can get to that level, beat out anybody for a job, you're probably not in this league doing what you're doing now.
Yeah, man, this is the best of the best. It's the best of the best guys in the world, and you know, I know I'm one of those, you know, better guys, and so I've always had that mentality. Like I said, you can go look at my interviews from when I was a first-year player. You know, I've always spoken into the future, and so I've always believed that if I continue to work hard, I've got the ability to do some things. And I've been around a lot of quarterbacks, been around the game my entire life. I've seen a lot of great players, and I just, you know, I'm really confident in myself, not in an arrogant way, not in a cocky way, but you know, I know what I can do out there.
Speaking into the future, is that something you got from the parents or someone that you worked with?
Yeah, really from my parents. You know, talk about just positive affirmations. You know, talk about speaking things into existence. There's real things that happen when you manifest, and I believe in that. And you know, things have shown up in my life in real time.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you, guys.